What up, you nerds? Fallout here, and wow, we got so much news today, it's insane. First of all, Bungie dropped a brand new Beyond Light trailer. It wasn't terribly long, but of course we're gonna be able to gather so much information from what little footage we got. There are tons of new weapons shown here and there, but until we get more footage of them in action, it's kinda hard to figure out what many of them are. Right away, here we have a funny looking gun in the trailer that I first assumed might be a scout rifle based on the scope. Later in the trailer though, it can be seen shooting in rapid fire. It's probably either an auto rifle or a very wonky SMG. We also have what I'm guessing is some kind of exotic grenade launcher. It literally only got shown in the trailer for 2 whole seconds, but because it appears alongside all the flashy Stasis powers, which I will get to, and because it appears directly after the trailer saying, "Wield the darkness," I'm guessing it might be some kind of Stasis-themed power weapon, which would be awesome. I love weird and wacky weapon designs, like the Anarchy grenade launcher. If we have some kind of launcher that might be able to completely freeze people, sign me the hell up. Another weapon that we think might be exotic that wasn't shown in the trailer but might be on the Bungie website is this right here. Now the weapon on the left I believe is the exotic grenade launcher from the trailer. As you can tell, screenshots look very similar in design, but that leaves us with the question, what the heck is this weapon on the right? As far as I can tell, it's not anywhere in the trailer, and it could be one of a few things. My first thought immediately went to sword. I can't really see a scope or a barrel or whatever on whatever this gun is, so until we get further information, I'm gonna go ahead and guess sword. Don't take my word on that one though, just a guess. As soon as we have more information in the future, I will be sure to share it with you. One extra gun that might be worth mentioning is this bad boy right here. If you've got a really keen eye, and I know you do, you might remember this weapon was previewed way back when during Bungie's block on the GCX charity stream. We still have no real idea what this weapon is. It wasn't fired even one time during the brand new trailer, so we're still totally in the dark as to whether it is an auto rifle, a pulse rifle, or maybe even a trace rifle. Now, let's get to the way wilder stuff that was shown in the trailer, the new Stasis abilities and supers. All of them absolutely crazy, to the point where I'm really wondering if some of the stuff shown here may end up as game-breaking. Completely not kidding, by the way. First up, we are shown what I can only imagine is a Titan super, where your Guardian performs a ground pound, sending an icy shockwave out along the floor towards enemies. This both apparently creates an ice platform that rises up out of the ground and deals massive damage all at the same time. And when I say platform, I really mean platform. Later in the trailer, a Guardian throws a grenade at a wall, creating an ice platform horizontally out from the wall that all players on the fire team can jump on top of. We are literally getting Fortnite in Destiny, boys. Get into trouble in a gunfight? Just build, forehead. All kidding aside, I think this opens up a lot of incredibly interesting gameplay options for PvE and PvP. Good movement is such a key factor in Destiny that having the ability to create your own platform out of walls is so hype to me. Kudos to Bungie, I think that is terribly clever. We also got some kind of new Hunter super that looks like maybe an icy Stasis version of Blade Barrage. Jump up into the air, throw out cold ass knives, and make your enemies freeze up on contact. Awesome. We've got a new grenade that has the ability to literally freeze multiple enemies all in one go. That seems incredibly strong for PvE, depending on both how much damage it does and, more importantly, how long enemies will remain frozen before thawing out. At this point in the trailer, I was kind of thinking, well, no way this stuff is going to be able to freeze Guardians in PvP. And just as I was thinking that, we have a clip of a hunter in PvP both jumping over a wall of ice and then freezing count them, two Guardians out of their roaming supers. I'm thinking this has to be a super ability, something that strong. The animation of the hunter throwing something out of their hand looks very similar to a melee ability, but there's just no way. I mean, think about it. A melee ability that can freeze multiple Guardians out of their roaming super? That has to be a super itself, or I'm going to main Hunter for the rest of my life, and I just can't have that. More on that another time when we hopefully get more information, but wow, freezing enemies in PvP looks very, very strong. Moving on, we have a brand new Warlock Super where you can take some kind of ice staff and shoot out orbs that will group freeze nearby enemies. Cool. I'm assuming this is gonna be more than just a one and done type super. You'll probably be able to fire multiple orbs if you have enough meter, and maybe do some other crazy stuff too. After that, we have what I think is a hunter doing some kind of stasis ground pound or ground stab out of the air. Something I would expect more from a Titan, but I think it looks like a hunter. If I'm wrong on that one, in the future I'll be sure to let you know. Here's one good reason though why I think it is a hunter. At the end of the trailer, we see all the classes running towards the camera in a very cinematic style. On the left, we very clearly have a Warlock. On the right, pretty sure that is a big beefy Titan. And right in the middle, we have what I think is the hunter, and look at the pose he's doing. Looks like some kind of stasis ground stab, so I think the move we saw earlier is definitely hunter. Two more things. We got a clip of what I'm guessing is a Titan leaping forth and just bashing the hell out of frozen enemies with what I'll assume is probably a new melee ability. Very funny stuff right there. And also a moment where a Titan apparently slides into frozen enemies and shatters them completely. It's very quick and hard to tell, but after seeing that clip, I couldn't help but wonder, can you kill frozen enemies by just sliding into them? Or is that maybe a very well-timed shot from the trailer where someone else shot and killed the frozen enemies, and it looks like the Titan sliding into them made them shatter? I really don't know, but that's kind of the fun of it, isn't it? Anyway, if we get any more new information, I'll be sure to share it with you, but for right now, goddamn, all of these new abilities look crazy hype. Depending on how they end up playing in PvP, I think it is really safe to say that I'm going to try and master these new subclasses week 1, because I think they're going to be very strong on paper. Moving on, not only do we have new exotics and abilities on the field, we got new platform news as well. Bungie and Xbox have announced that they are teaming up together to bring Destiny 2 to the Xbox Game Pass this fall. With an active Xbox Game Pass subscription, players will have access to the standard edition of each expansion, excluding seasonal content, beginning with Forsaken and Shadowkeep, and including Beyond Light when we get to November 10th. Not only that, but later in the year, Bungie will release a version of D2 that will be optimized for the Xbox Series X, including 4K resolution and running at 60 frames per second. That is huge news for anyone on console feeling like they've been missing out with their 30 FPS and standard console resolution. Players who already own D2 on Xbox One will be able to transfer their game to Xbox Series X for free via Smart Delivery. Bungie went on in an FAQ to clarify a few things. Their partnership with Xbox does not mean that D2 content will be launching first on Xbox. All Destiny content is going to be available to all platforms at the same time. No content exclusives. They clarify that the seasonal content is not included as part of the Game Pass, only the standard edition of the Forsaken and Shadowkeep expansions, as well as the standard edition of Beyond Light. Regarding pre-ordering Beyond Light on Xbox, those Xbox Game Pass subscribers who purchase any edition of Beyond Light will still have access to the expansion and its associated content if Beyond Light leaves Game Pass or their Game Pass subscription expires. There are some additional questions and answers regarding the Xbox Game Pass. I will provide a link to the FAQ down in the video description. Last thing to mention from the trailer real quick, at the very end we get a quick snippet that if you pre-order the Beyond Light Deluxe Edition, you'll get access to the No Time to Explain exotic pulse rifle, which was kind of a cult classic back from D1. Finally, I want to include what Bungie covered in today's Twab, which, I'm not gonna lie to you boys, is hella light. They mentioned that if you're interested, they'll be doing a live stream on Twitch on July 28th with some of the developers who created the Prophecy Dungeon. Might be fun for a watch. More excitingly though, Bungie mentions that they've figured out a way to drastically reduce the overall amount of beaver error codes that have been plaguing the community on PC. Players in the central and eastern United States regions were impacted the most, and hopefully with the changes they've implemented, these error codes should be down by a whole lot. And that's kinda it. Very light Twab, but a whole lot of other juicy info today overall in the form of the new trailer. If you liked today's video, please click the like button, and if you haven't already, please click on subscribe. It's free to do, it helps me get a little bit closer to my goal of one day taking over the world. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.